Testing, testing.
Testing, testing. 1, 2. See what this is. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, I'm not really as burned up about this topic. Uh, if it had automatically been updated to. Okay, I know. Um, I'm not as enraged about this topic because, like I said, I've done the work to heal. Now, if it was a year ago, 6 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, I'd have a whole lot to say. I'd be just angry and uh, drawn out and crazy about it. But I'm not really. I don't feel that way about this about toxic women anymore. Because you do have a lot of. Although we have, we got toxic men and toxic women. Cause I've heard stories where you had a lot of women also that have unrealistic expectations when it comes to dating men, and they I've seen some of them say they have to be able to spend hundreds of dollars on you on her just to take her out on a date. They have to be able to if they can't buy you $300-400 weaves and stuff like that. Uh, they can't even talk to you, or you have to be able to finesse. They try to. There's a whole this whole thing with modern women, quote unquote. I don't use like you know how I feel about those terms. That's just internet stuff. But they basically their mindset is geared towards the modern woman basically is geared towards not really dating. They're not interested in really just genuinely getting to know the guy or genuinely wanting to spend time with a guy or being with a guy. Their main concern is you spending money on them, you buying them things, you doing things for them, but you'll get no commitment, no obligation, no loyalty from them. It's just you spending money. But like I said, all we have to do as men is look for those signs and avoid them. You can go the other way. You don't have to. You have to find out what type of woman you're dealing with before you get too deep in them with them, because otherwise they'll finesse you. They'll use you. You have this brand of woman that's out there. You have the ones that are modern they're only out to get you and want to line your pot want line their pockets off your hard work and things like that. You have to watch out for that kind of stuff. Uh, Not angry at them. They're just because what I look. This is how I look at it. Uh, they're trying to. Everyone's trying to survive based off what they have, their skill level, their knowledge level, whatever they have to work with. They're going to use it. People are going to use it to survive. We're creatures. We're animalistic when it comes to that. So if she has limited education, she has limited knowledge, limited experience, and also poor character, she's gonna do what it takes, even if it means living off of you. Even if people are gonna do what it takes to try to survive and try to, you know, people are gonna do what it takes. It's not that's the way that thing goes. I don't particularly agree with that selection of choice, but um I can't say what I would do in that situation, honestly. And you also have toxic women, just like you have the red pill community, manosphere. You have toxic feminists and all that kind of stuff that believe men are inferior. You have some that believe all men are no good and things like that. And no matter what you try to do in a relationship to try to make it work, to try to make it, you could try to be Superman or whatever. No matter what you do, it's still not going to be enough. They're going to still find something uh, to try to either bring you down with or try to. They're going to bring a lot of verbal. It's going to be a lot of verbal abuse and try to emasculate you and things like that. So you got to avoid those type of people too, because they're not, and you have some that that don't mean you any good, that only want to dump their problems off on you, and you just have to. And like I said, this is not a complaint. I'm just stating what's out there in the dating market. It's hard for a lot of guys to try and meet new girls because a lot of them are basically for themselves. You have some good women, but they don't go out much. You're not gonna find a good woman scrolling social media all day. You have to actually go out and meet different people and talk to them. You're not gonna find them scrolling Facebook. You're not gonna find them like on dating sites because the chances of you meeting one on a dating site, you can, but it's really slim because a lot of them are mainly just looking for money. They're mainly just looking for a way to line their pockets. And there's a lot of I've been on a lot of dating sites before. I'm not on them anymore because I can care less. A lot of them, you have a lot of prostitutes on there, things like that. There's a lot of them just trying to line their pockets. Uh, you got a lot of bum dudes on there too, but of course I ain't looking for them, so I don't ever see them. Um, so you got, a lot of the modern women, they mainly just care about themselves, lining their pockets. Some of them have unrealistic expectations. They want all the men to make six figures, and because everyone there's this trend. I think when when Kevin Samuels was still alive, I think it's still going. But there's this trend that he has to make six figures. All women now, they want, not all women, but a lot of the modern women, they want a man that makes a lot of money. If you don't make six figures, they don't want to talk to you. They're not studying you. Uh, they believe that they put themselves. They want you to put them on a pedestal. Different things like that. It's a lot of unrealistic. They're willing. They want things from men that they're not even, and but they're not really. I call it unrealistic because they're not willing to give the same thing, or they're not willing to put in what they're asking for. If you're able and willing to put out what you're asking for, it's not unrealistic. You're just wanting someone to match your energy. But if you're wanting all this extravagant stuff and always wanting a man to send you money all day, I mean every day, and all kind of stuff, you want him to pay your bills and his all. You got women that want you to pay all of their bills, and you know how the economy is now. A lot of people are barely struggling to pay their bills, but they want you to pay your bills and their bills, if they're even to talk to you. And it's a lot of that going on too. And it's just a lot of and there's a lot of the dating world is basically turned into a survival fight for survival because that just shows you how people are actually doing out there in the world. Um, a lot of the women are in the dating market are mainly just concerned about money and stuff. So in order for you to find someone, you pretty much have to get out of the market, find someone that fits your mode. Like I always say, find someone that fits you and just sit down, or or unless you're in a phase where you're just getting yourself together. Uh, but you just find someone that fits your mode. As far as going out, it's hard. It's really difficult in these days and age to try and especially if you don't have buku money and things like that. But it all depends on that all goes back to how your preference, you know, because a lot of men they want women that are either aren't interested in the type of person they are or just way out of their league, and you gotta be careful with that too. So, but I wanted to deal with toxic women. I think I've watched this a few times, but I go over it again and see what I agree with, disagree with, whatever. Um, but there are signs that you have to look out for, like I said. But because I used to have, like I said, I used to have a whole lot to say, a whole lot of rage concerning this, but I just don't anymore. Because, like I said, this doesn't bother me anymore. When I find out a woman is toxic, when I find out she's a user, when I find out she just doesn't have my best interest at heart or something like that, I just don't deal with it. You don't have to waste your time because, like I said, when you get to a place where you value your peace, that's why I tell any guy, when you get to a place where you value your peace, you're gonna avoid anything that disrupts that. If that woman disrupts your peace, interrupts your peace, I mean, it's not. Chances are it's not going. It's probably not healthy. 'Cause I'm not saying if y'all going through tough times, you got to leave. No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like disrupting your peace by bringing negative energy into what y'all have into the relationship, emasculation, verbal abuse, narcissism, because there are female narcissists and things like that. So, but we're gonna go over that stuff. I'm just showing what to look out for and things like that. Um, and basically, that's all it is. I'm not harping because I can't. I don't have any disdain for women because, like I said, I've grown out of that. I've come to a place, I'm not angry about that anymore. I'm not really up for bashing women because if they want to be users, that's their business. But I'm not gonna. I don't have to select her. I don't have to be a part of her. I don't have to. That's what they want. It's what they want to do. That's their business. And because and I have met good women. I know too many good women to blame the world and blame every woman and all that kind of stuff. I know too many good ones. So, without further ado, let's keep going. Let's go. Let's move on with this.
Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be difficult and toxic women. Well, I've got an email here. This is from a guy. He says he's been through my audiobook, the How to Be a 3% Man audiobook. He's been through it twice. And so he wrote in saying, hey, how do I save things going sideways with my dream woman? So obviously he's pretty new.
A lot of this whole quote unquote dream woman. That's sometimes a lot of times men, a lot of mistakes that guys make. We get caught up in our emotions before we really get to the meat and bones of how a woman actually is. That woman could be treating you like crap, but with the mistake we make, we're so caught up in emotion and all of that stuff that we don't realize that she don't see our worth, she don't see our value, that she's just really, she might be broken, or she might, like I said, it might be a user, or she might just be not for us. But we don't see that because we're only looking on the surface, and we're thinking, okay, this appears to be everything I want. I'm attracted to her. I got all these emotions geared towards her, so this is the one. Not necessarily. And there are a lot of practical things you have to look out for. Like I said in my previous stream, um, but let's keep going.
Not obviously hasn't read the book 10 to 15 times like he should, How to Be a 3% Man. And if you're new,
And also, you don't really have to read this book 10 or 15 times. A lot of dating coaches, they'll tell you, oh, this way is the only way to the light, and it's the only thing you got to do. Although this book is helpful, it is very helpful. It's a very good book, but I didn't have to read it 10 or 15 times to understand how life worked, how understand how women work. Um, I got my experience just by dating, just by dealing with different types of women, just by talking to different types of women. Um, so, and he got his experience same way. So, I mean, there's more than one way to understand it. But anyone that has either has a father or grew up in a healthy home with a married couple, undermarried, you know, that had a mother and father, and it wasn't toxic. It wasn't a toxic upbringing. You'll probably know a lot of the certain things when it comes to dating too. You'll probably understand women. You'll probably understand how the dating thing works. Uh, and I've been talking about this too a lot because this seems to be a popular topic, a popular trend lately, dating and not dating, because people now are looking for love or trying to figure out what's going on in the dating world. Uh, Me myself, I've been trying to do it too because I've been trying to. I find people interesting because a lot of it has changed. The dating pool has changed drastically, and that's because the times have changed drastically. A lot of things, a lot of requirements in the dating world have went up. In order for someone to, because in order for someone to be in your life, the expectations have gone up because women have raised their expectations on men, things like that. So now there's more required. You can't just walk up to a woman and just be with her and get with her. It's not gonna cut it anymore. They require more now. So, but if you have your stuff together, it's still not gonna be all that hard. Uh, because it's gonna take your undivided attention when it comes to that, and I know that. That's why I'm not really just throwing myself out there yet, um, because I can't give that my undivided attention right now because my focus is somewhere else. So I already know that, and I know what to expect. I know what I'm getting into. I had to, you know, kind of learn what the expectations and all that stuff. But like I said, you don't have to read his book 1,000 times. But if you're, but he does give decent advice in certain areas. There's some things I don't agree with due to certain philosophies and things like that. But it's not enough for me to just harp on it or just strongly just stiff arm the guy. Uh, there are some good takeaways though. I just know to take the meat and leave the fat, when it comes to that kind of stuff. But anyway,
Relatively new, maybe this is the first video of mine you've seen, you can read my book, How to Be a 3% Man, as well as my second book, Mastering Yourself, by going to my website. That's understandingrelationships.com. And that's relationships with an S. And if you just subscribe to the email newsletter, you'll get a link and you can start reading right now. And if you want to get a hardcover, paperback, obviously you can get them on Amazon.com. And also you can get the...
If a guy wants a second chance with a girl who got away, or a woman who's slipping away right now, there is one simple
no.
audiobook. So obviously this guy's making some mistakes here, but because we all tend to project our fantasy of what we want onto the other person, especially somebody that's new to my work and is trying to learn the fundamentals and trying to apply these things and get good with it, we oftentimes look past a lot of red flags that are there because we really like the person. Because let's face it, every day of our lives we're not meeting a new best friend. Every day of our lives we're not meeting the ultimate woman. I mean,
nope.
If you're watching this and you're like most human beings, it's not very often that you find guys that you want to hang out with and you really enjoy hanging out with. And
Nope, it's mostly work and you're shrouded in work and trying to get your finances together, trying to pay bills and other activities you might be obligated to. And especially if you have kids, your whole life is consumed by all that stuff. So it's kind of hard. Then because you have to make sacrifices for your child, you have to be there for your child. Especially if you have young children, you have to be there for them. Anytime you're not at work, you have to be in their presence, and that's a sacrifice. That's a huge sacrifice. Your social life takes a plummet, and I guess that's why social media is so prevalent now, because you don't have you just can't go out like you really want to, not especially when you have young children. So you kind of have to socialize when you can, how you can. It's limited.
Values. It's the same thing with women.
It's hard.
You want a woman, obviously, you find
really
attractive, who finds you attractive, who you have similar goals, similar values with, and you genuinely enjoy hanging out with her. And the thing is like when you're single, you want to meet somebody. And when you meet somebody that seems really good at first and you're really attractive and you start having good sex and things are going well, you get into la la land and your emotions start to override your judgment. And it's only when things go sideways, it's only when you get burned, it's only when you get your heart broken that you start to go, maybe the approach I've been taking is not really the right approach. And that's often when things go sideways is when people first come to my work.
Yeah, the experience will take you there. It make you either question the dating. It just makes you want to do more research, look at it differently, to try to actually understand how people work, how women work. Because you think that if you follow your heart and you go with all your emotional, you're leading by allowing your emotions to lead you to make certain decisions when it comes to dating. Some people think that it's just like going out into a fight, just swinging, but without a proper strategy, without the right techniques, without the knowledge that it takes to actually succeed, you're not going to get very far. Because a lot of women can pick up on that kind of stuff. They know when you don't know what you're doing. A lot of them know when you don't know who you are and where you're going. And some of them can take advantage of that. Some of them can use that to either drag you down, to use you, to line their pockets. Someone will take advantage of what you don't know or what you're not aware of. So if you're not strong in yourself, you'll get dragged down.
And so this is a good email because obviously the guy, he's making mistakes, but he's got a woman here that's exhibiting a lot of toxic and manipulative qualities that really he shouldn't be putting her so much on a pedestal. So not only was she started displaying red
If you put her on the pedestal, she'll kick you in the face.
flags, he started doing things that were wrong and just made things worse. And so, the goal here by going through this email is to help point out some things that you want to be aware of.
You don't treat her like a goddess. You treat her like a woman. You treat her like you treat her like a lady, but you don't have to treat her like a goddess. You don't bow down and worship because, like I said, women are responsive creatures. They respond to how you act and how you are. So if you put yourself beneath them, they're going to respond according to their character. If they're a certain way, they might use that to walk all over you. They might use that. They might just be turned off by it. Some of them just feel weird when that happens. Some of them don't know how to respond. So they all respond differently, but they're responsive. They are going to respond to how you act and how you carry yourself as a man.
So you can spot these kind of behaviors before you're several months down the road and you're all goo goo gaga and thinking this is the ultimate woman, when in reality you should have just hooked up with her once or twice and moved on. And I know it's hard because, again, we're not going to connect and jive with.
And again, if you just hooking up, I would say, with my experience, I'd say be careful who you just quote unquote. If you're gonna do that, you're gonna live that lifestyle. You have to be careful when it comes to that, because sometimes it can lead to pregnancy. Sometimes it can lead to what I talk about with soul ties, being connected, and you have things that you have some things that how would I say this? Some people carry energy and certain energies. You got to be careful when you're dealing with that. When people have negative and toxic energy, you really don't want to connect to them on any kind of level like that. When you're hooking up, quote unquote hooking up, having sex with them, they have that negative energy. Their energy can, one, get on you, and two, it could latch onto you. It could pass. You could pass along a lot of. They may be dealing with a lot of spiritual bondage, and that stuff can affect you. So you really, really got to be careful with that. I know he's not a spiritual. He's not really spiritual when it comes to. He's just giving dating advice in the earth, how to help men, find get what they want, even if it's just hookups or whatever. But I'm just saying, you got to be careful with that too. From my own experience, I've done that. Even with the toxic ones, you have to be careful because it could turn into something deep. Really, you might find yourself in a deeper situation. Just sharing my experience.
With every single woman that we meet that's cute and attractive and has a nice body. That's just reality. Anything worth having in life, it's like it seems to come after a long time of trial and error, and lots of things don't work out. It's the same thing with career. You might have to go through several jobs. You might have to try several different careers before you find something that you really truly love and enjoy. And the longer you live and the longer you're around for, you're going to recognize that that's going to evolve over time. That's a lot of the stuff that I talk about in my second book, Mastering Yourself. As I go through my path in my own career and all the ups and downs and the turns and the unexpected things that came along, and passions and hobbies that eventually turned into businesses and successful careers for me.
That's possible.
Let's talk about BetterHelp. If you ever feel anxious, depressed, stressed, overwhelmed by the world being very much...
It's possible.
Because the only thing that's constant in life is change.
Yep, I agree with that one. Because sometimes your goals change, your perspectives change, a lot of things change. A lot of things I was passionate about and really wanted to do, I had to put on the back burner. I had to let it go. I had to, even things I was passionate about and was gung-ho about, it's vice versa with what he was like, not vice versa, but it was flipped around. A lot of things that I did as a career is now just a hobby. Now something I just do on the side. So a lot of things change. So your mindset changes, especially the older you get. Things that you wanted to do, and because I was gung-ho about it, having an auto detailing business, mobile detailing business. Now the older I'm starting to get older. I'm limited to what I can do physically. A lot of things I'm looking at. Okay, would I still be able to do this at 60? Would I still be able to do this at 50? Now I'm thinking about retirement and all that kind of stuff. I'm not thinking about, okay, I'm gonna go out there and get it. Now I'm trying to work smarter, trying to find ways to manage my money and invest my money to make it grow and make it earn itself. I want to try to figure out. I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking for ways to make money in my sleep, to try to work without using money that I make to flip it and grow it without having to sweat for it. See what I'm saying? So just have to work smarter. I'm learning to do that instead of, because if you have to work for every dime you get when you start getting older, it's all well and good when you're in your 20s, but when you start getting older, 30s, 40s, 50s, you start to think about it a little different than that, because your body won't be able to hold out forever.
Life is change, growth is optional. So I got a quote that I wrote in this talk, and then we're going to go through this dude's email. And the quote says, human beings make buying decisions and romantic decisions based upon emotion, and they use logic and reason to justify their choices. Quality people are easygoing, easy to be with, easy to get along with, easy to communicate with, and flexible. It's really super important that you find somebody who is flexible. And that's one of the things I noticed about this guy's email is this woman is not very flexible. She obviously sounds like she's got a few daddy issues, and she's kind of pissed off at men, and she's used to punishing people when she doesn't get her way.
Let's see what she's dealing with.
It's next to impossible to have a healthy relationship with somebody that exhibits those qualities. And it's not your job to fix somebody or mold them into what you...
Nope, it's not. And this is, I'm using this video too to show a lot of guys what to avoid, so you won't find yourself dealing with a lot, because I dealt with a lot of dealing with toxic I dealt with toxic women in the past, and I didn't look out for those signs. I was like, okay, I'm so happy, I want to be with her. I didn't look out for the fact, I didn't see the fact that she was toxic, the fact she was bringing me down, the fact that she was emasculating or verbally abusive or whatever the case may be, because they grew up, had a traumatic childhood, and they hadn't healed from it, so they bring you down with them if you're not looking out for those signs. So that's another reason why I chose this video. I might choose another one too, but let's go.
You want. I mean, part of having an abundance mentality is saying, yeah, she's great, or she's got a lot of qualities that I like, but I can fucking do better. With enough time, enough repetition, and taking care of myself, eventually I'll come across somebody better. Sometimes in life, you just got to cut people loose. And not only when it comes to your romantic life, but also employers and friends. And sometimes with family members. If you got toxic family members, as Tony Robbins says, love your family, but choose your peers. You want people that add value to your life.
Healthy relationships. Always try to look for healthy relationships that add to your peace, that add to your growth and development. Now, I'm not saying cut people off that make you uncomfortable when it comes, because iron sharpens iron. They're doing and saying things that's going to make you better. That's one thing. But if they're just toxic and making you constantly feel like you're less than, like you're the bottom of the earth, the bottom of the barrel when it comes to a human being, then that's a little different there. That's kind of on the toxic side, and other people you should avoid, because you want to gravitate towards peace, a peaceful life. You want to gravitate towards things that are going to be that are going to be how would I put this? They're going to help you achieve your purpose. Once you know where you're going, who you are, it'll be easy. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll be able to select people that are going to line up with your purpose. And a lot of times, those people be placed in your life anyway.
Low-quality people are demanding, difficult, manipulative, inflexible, passive-aggressive, and are perpetually focused on sandbagging your happiness and success. Good people build you up, while toxic people tear you down. And this is really super important. And what you're going to, so as I'm going through the email, I want you to be on the lookout for this. If you have a low opinion of yourself, then you'll attract toxic people who justify your beliefs. If you have a high opinion of yourself, then you simply won't tolerate toxic or abusive people and will actually repel them instead.
That's what I've learned to do now. Because the more I heal, you know what I'm saying, the more I go through the healing process and all of that, those people don't even interest me anymore, you know. So, yeah, they don't even interest me anymore. So, I mean, I can understand that.
The best thing you can do for yourself and your self-esteem is to focus on getting to a blissful and happy place first. Then you will attract people into your life who match and mirror your positive perception versus being unhappy and trying to attract people who make you happy. You can't attract happy people who add value to your life without being happy first. The most important relationship you will ever have in life is the relationship that you have with yourself. You got to get to a place where you love and you value and you appreciate yourself, you take care of yourself, you work out, you eat healthy, and you...
That's what I always talk about too. I did a live stream on Facebook about that one too, about self-love and things like that. Though you have to get it to a place like that, really, it'll make it a lot better. When you do invite somebody else in, it's a lot better. It's when you're at that place with yourself, it makes it that much easier to bring somebody else in. And there's some things I'm trying to tweak, and it's things I'm trying to work out too when it comes to myself. Get a good solid routine going, and consistency, discipline, because it's going to require discipline, consistency, and because I always say love is not how you feel, it's what you do. So when you do things that are going to help you grow, help you increase, and it's going to elevate you, that's self-love. You know, so, and I didn't understand these kind of things until I actually healed and started actually doing it and started seeing improvements in my life. And I got to a place now where it's almost like clockwork now where I do things that are productive every single day.
Want to be the best you for you, and attracting a good quality woman, attracting good quality friends, attracting good quality jobs is a side benefit and side effect of being an awesome human being. Because let's face it, the world is full of people who totally fucking suck.
And yeah, I can see, I can be I don't have to rage out and yell and all that kind of stuff. I could do things. I could say positive things too. Well, I'm not all positive. I'm a balance. I have a balance. There's just certain things that piss me off. I'm not always pissed off. Don't believe that. I'm not always pissed off. It's just certain things that piss me off, just like everybody else. Some people just stay mad and stay angry. I don't do that. I always try to gravitate towards peace, and that's why I mix up my content to show those different sides. What pisses me off, what I can be informative about, what I can or topics that I might disagree with but not being raised about. I just don't like things that are toxic and counterproductive to people, because when people send out falsified information like the Red Pills did, like the Red Pills and Manosphere do, they do things to that keeps men depressed, that keeps men down, it keeps men from growing, it keeps men from holding themselves accountable so they can do the work it takes to change. And I hate that, because it keeps you in this space. You can't elevate, you can't grow, it keeps you down, and they're making money off of that. They're brainwashing guys and lying, feeding them lies and deceit, and just keeping them. They're not growing, they're not able to grow, and all they're doing is making money off of it. Those guys that are that Manosphere stuff, all that stuff, they don't care about you. That's why I tell the truth. And it's not that I'm angry and just rah 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 rah. Those are topics I'm passionate about, so I'm gonna exude a lot of energy when it comes to that. It's just not. That don't mean I'm just raised out, ready to hurt somebody. No, it's not. I'm just passionate about certain things, and I'm gonna exert a lot of energy, a lot of aggressive energy when it comes to that. But that don't mean I'm ready to kill somebody or hurt nobody. That don't mean that. I'm just passionate, and this kind of thing I'm passionate about when it comes to you got toxic men lying to other men that are hurt, that are broken. They're taking advantage of their inability to heal themselves from their trauma, and they're cashing in on it. They're cashing in on people's hurt, people's pain, And I can't stand that. That makes me angry. That just makes me angry when you lie to people intentional and keep them down just to line your pockets. I don't. I think that's kind of sleazy, man. I don't like that kind of stuff. I respect people for telling the truth, even if I don't get a lot of followers, I don't get a lot of views. I don't have a whole lot of people getting me money or anything like that. But I'd rather be like that and tell the truth versus lining my pockets and just to lie to people. And I can't do that. I can't sell myself out like that. I refuse. Because those people, they cashed out. Just like Kevin Sanders did. He made a lot of money off people's hurt. Thomas Sotomayor. They made a lot of money off people's hurt, off people's pain, off people's misery. I refuse to do that. I'd rather just tell you the truth. I'd rather just tell you, oh, look, this is what you need. You need to become a healthier person. You need to become the best version of yourself. You need to find your purpose. You need to look, you know, you don't have to. All women aren't terrible. All women don't suck. There are women that do suck, but you can avoid them. You don't have to spend your whole life miserable. That's just life. I'm just telling you what life is. There are some parts of life that are ugly, but I don't just sit around and have an overall negative viewpoint on life. The negative, you just work through it, or if you can't avoid it, if it's just something you have to go through to get to where you're going, so be it. We just work it out, we grind it out, we dig our heels in, and we push through it. But I don't believe, because it's not going to be, it's temporary. It's not going to stay like that. That's just me. I refuse to sit around and lie. It's not a cash grab, to tell the truth. People don't want to, because people don't want to hear truth. People don't want to hear that. It's not a cash grab at all. They don't, you don't, channels like this, channels like mine aren't going to grow. I'm going to get as much growth or productivity because people rather feed into lies. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm not going to grow as fast as everybody else because I don't care. I'd rather just create content for the ones that are willing to listen to it. I'd rather just tell you the truth. Even if I only have like 6, even if I never make it to affiliate level, I'm just gonna keep telling the truth. If I never make it, I don't care. I just have other sources of income. I just do this for fun as a hobby. I just leave it as a hobby and be done with it. I'm not really it's whatever when it comes to that. I'm not gonna sell myself out to do lies. I just never sell myself out to misrepresent myself. I'll never do that because I've been doing music all my life, right? I was offered record deals on several occasions, but in order for me to get those record deals, I would have had to sing about sexual stuff, seductive things. That's not me though. I had to sing like music like Trey Songz makes, R. Kelly makes. I'd have to make music like that. That's not what I do. I don't do that. I don't do that kind of music. It's just not. It's not who I am. If I gotta misrepresent myself, if I gotta degrade myself, if I gotta lower. Now, if somebody else wants to make that type of music, that's their business. But if I gotta go against what I stand for and what I believe in or what I want to do, if I can't have my own brand or represent myself properly, I'd rather just not do it. I'd rather do something else, to make money. I'd rather just have a regular job and do it on the side. You know what I'm saying? I can't sell out like that. I guess because if I gotta lie to myself to succeed, it's not worth it. To me, it ain't worth it, man. It's not worth it. It's not. That means it wasn't for me in the first place. I'm not gonna press it. I'm not gonna push myself to lie and deceive people or deceive myself just to make a living. And those you don't. That don't bring you peace no way. It only brings you. It might bring you fame. It might bring you success, but it don't bring you any peace. I'm just dropping knowledge, man. You have to. That's why you have to become the best version of yourself. You have to explore where your purpose is, and because a lot of people. A lot of people that are miserable because they try to do things they may desire to do or have a passion for, but it might not even be their purpose. It might not be something that was intended for them. It might not be something that God even intended for them to do. So you just have to find out what your purpose is. And because when you line up with your purpose, when you line up with whatever you're supposed to be doing, your life gets a lot better. It might not be easier. It might not be milk and honey, gumdrops and ice cream, but you'll be in a place of peace regardless of what's going on in the situations and stuff. You might have moments of emotional when it comes to depression and things like that. You might have moments of that, but you're not going to be shrouded in it, because if it's constant your constant mental battles, constant warfare and stuff like that, that means there's a problem. There's something there that's disturbing your peace, and you need to look into it. It's like a check engine light on your car. But I've rambled on enough. Let's get into this video.
Remember the rules. No drama allowed.
Always protect your peace.
If you're texting a girl you really like, but she's leaving you on red, waiting hours to reply, or ghosting you whenever you...
Oh, and by the way, these mugs, if you haven't seen these before, you can get these at Teespring, TEESPRING.com, or you can Google Corey Wayne, or Google Teespring.com, Coach Corey Wayne, if you're so inclined. There's, let's see, we got 3% Club. Let's see what else. Come On Man. Those are on there. Got shirts, T-shirts.
Come on, man.
Got nice little baseball caps here.
He says it when guys do something stupid. It's funny.
And what I like about these are really, really well made. Again, those are available at Teespring as well, Coach Corey Wayne. So let's go through his email. He says, "Hi, Coach. I read your book 3 times, and I listened to your audiobook 2 times. So he's about 5 times in. But keep in mind, he's like, probably hasn't applied what he's learned with a lot of women yet. And so this is his first one, and obviously he really likes this girl because he took the time to write this detailed email. He says, I am still working on it. Well, 10 to 15 times, dude, because the other thing that 3% Man is going to really help you do, it's really super important that you learn the fundamentals, and why I say read it 10 to 15 times, because it teaches you a new way to think. It teaches you a new mindset, a way to look at things. And what's great about applying what's in the book is it brings out the best in the best right away, and it brings out the worst in the worst right away so you can get rid of them. And he just missed the signs that this woman just not really a great.
That's what I say when it comes to probing questions. You ask them. They've been through a lot of past, and they express. If you take them on a date and they express a whole lot of anger in their past, well, all niggas ain't this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? This the black version. They tell you all men ain't S and all men are bad and all people are bad. They have some level of trauma that they haven't healed from. That means they still have to heal. I've seen and I've had women comment. I've posted stuff like that. I had women comment, well, you just deal with her while she broken and you just don't screw up. Well, if she has a perspective that all men are bad, all men are trash, all men are garbage, all men are just crazy, no matter what you do, she's gonna paint you in that image. She's gonna paint you in an image of not. She's gonna see you as a screw up, even if you made a mistake and didn't mean any harm. You just don't screw up. It's not that simple. When you just telling you off experience now, when you even if you don't mean any harm, she's gonna write you off as a screw up. She's going to write you off as somebody that just didn't, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to go, it's possible to work it out. However, it's a long process to go from broken to healed. It's a long process. I went through it. It's long and it's not easy. It's not comfortable. It's just, so you have to, I'm not telling you to do it or not to do it. I'm just letting you know what you're getting yourself into. If you choose to get with a broken woman, a toxic woman, stuff like that, you got to know what you're signing up for. All you do is just not screw up, just not, because some women will lash out at you based off their past, and you may have not even tried to do anything to hurt them. Because a lot of men, we're simplistic. We might do things. Because I've had women, oh, you don't think about me, no, you don't care about me, all because I didn't text them good morning one morning because I overslept. They think, oh, you must got another woman, you must got another female. Actually, I just overslept. You don't call me, you don't respond to me, you ain't interested in me. I had a woman that she was a minister, actually. I had I forgot. I think we met it was on a dating site, and we met on a dating site, something like that. It was a while back. It was a while ago. I forgot how long this was ago. But she would call me at 6:30 in the morning. She got angry with me because I didn't answer the phone. Like, I'm not up that early. But you need to wake up. I don't know why you ain't answer my phone call. I'm not up at 6. I'm not up at 6:30 in the morning. That was back then when I used to sleep to about 10, 11 o'clock because I was up half the night, you know. So my schedules was different. And you ain't answering my phone. You ain't even trying to get to know me. I'm not up at 6:30 in the morning. It's just not my time. You might get up that early. I'm not matching your schedule because I worked at night. I did a lot of my work at night. It's just not. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's not that I don't care about you. They'll draw those conclusions, and they'll go to those conclusions, and it's actually not that. They think that you're either don't care about them, or it's always going to go to the negative. Or you just ignoring me, and you just. A lot of times you could be doing something. A lot of times you could be at work. Because I've had people get mad at me or get angry with me or cuss me out because I was doing something at work. Because sometimes my job can vary from paperwork to construction, remodeling, things like that. So sometimes it requires my undivided attention, requires my focus. If I'm building something, if I'm installing cabinets, if I'm putting up sheetrock, that requires my undivided attention. I can't be by the phone every beck and call, every time you text. I can't just respond right away. Especially if I'm working and using my hands, because I work with my hands a lot of times. So they would get angry and cuss you out. Or, you must got another woman over there. You must. I'm at work. I'm doing something. I'm building something. I'm fixing something. Give me a minute. Oh, you ain't. Oh, whatever. People like that, they haven't healed. They hadn't healed from their trauma, and they're still trying to, and they're taking all their frustration, their pain, their hurt out on you. Those are the type you might want to. Those are red flags that you look out for. That's what I'm saying.
Great prospect. He says, I met this girl on Bumble and we dated 5 times in a month. She had a really high level of attraction until our last date 2.5 weeks ago. We slept together on the second date. And as I talk about my book, the average woman is going to sleep with you by the second or third date usually.
Not always true.
That's provided you're following everything in the book and she's up.
Some women actually want to wait till marriage, but a lot of people that are in the world, they'll tell you that they the goal is to get in her pants. I advise against that because I have my own beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for a reason. Now, I'm not saying I have 2 children, so I'm not saying that I haven't done things that were, that went against that, but that's something that I didn't take away from it. I'm not gonna just say you gotta sleep with this woman. Or your goal is to try to get in the pan. If that's what you do, that's your business. But I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't say I gotta condone that or go for it or you just go for it. I can't say that. I can't condone that. You know what I'm saying? That's your business. If you do whatever you do, that's your business.
Obviously really into you. Because if you want it to be easy and effortless, think about it. You want a woman who's like, fuck yeah, I'd love to go out with you. Oh, I'd love to have a date with you. That'd be great. Oh, let's definitely get together. Think about it. When you call your best friend to get there, he's like, yeah, let's do it, man. That'd be great. And then you meet a girl you really like, and she's like, oh, I don't know. I got to check my schedule. It's difficult. Things are so crazy right now. Things are crazy in my life. So busy. What she's really saying is, I really don't want to go out with you. Please don't make me go out with you. Why would you want to spend time with somebody that's like that?
Fact. Whenever a woman starts to like a guy, there's almost always a moment where she'll pull back her attraction, her interest.
I'm going to get premium one day.
So he says, we exchanged texts 3 to 4 times the day following our last date. During this date, she first said that she was going to share something with me and be vulnerable. She can very easily let go of people in her life. What do you think that means? She can very easily let go of people in her life. That's a threat. That's a subtle threat. I'll cut you fucking loose, motherfucker. If you don't treat me the way I want to be treated, if you don't act the way I expect you to act, you're fucking out of here. Probably really hot. Probably has lots of dudes in her life at this point. And she's basically saying, you better get in line. Remember, no drama allowed.
That could mean a lot of different things. You know, it could mean toxicity, but it could mean a lot of different things. And again, this generation, a lot of women are just tired. A lot of women are just kind of over it. But if you're easily replaceable in her life, and any little mistake, any little thing you do is warrants for being cut off completely, even if you didn't mean any harm by it, she probably wasn't meant to stay and be in your life anyway.
A little later, she said that she understood that I was busy, but that she wasn't happy seeing each other only once a week and not hearing from me in between. So if she's getting really upset about that, and she's asked about it multiple times, as I've talked about many times over the years in videos, then maybe...
And some women want more. You just have to understand when it comes to that. You got to understand what their level of consistency is. Some women rather want to talk to you every day. Some women want to talk to you 2 or 3 times a day. You just have to understand. You have to. Those are the things you want to get to know. If they want to talk to you every day, that doesn't always mean they're needy. Every 2 days, that's their level of expectation. There are some that are needy, and that is toxic behavior. That means that there's a lot of clinginess in there that will push a man away. But you have to get to know their expectations when it comes to that. If whatever they expect, if you're not willing to give it to them, that's also a dead giveaway that they might not be meant for you.
Maybe once a week, you text her out of the blue, or you send her an email, or you call her unexpectedly, or you shoot her an email. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Just want to let you know I was thinking about you, and I can't wait to see you Friday night. Talk to you later. Something simple like that if she's really asked for it. And also when she says she's not happy seeing each other once. Because the other thing is, as I talk about in the book, is as the weeks go by, especially after you start sleeping together, most women, normal, happy, healthy, flexible women that have good relationships with mom and good relationships with their dad, and they love their dad, they consider their dad to be their rock, they're going to have an easygoing, flexible attitude. They're happy. They don't take shit personally. They smile and they joke around a lot. They just don't take themselves or life too seriously. They don't get butthurt over every little joke or potential perceived slight. Women that don't have a good relationship with their father, or the father wasn't involved in their life, and there's no grandfather or uncle, there's no male influence, they could learn healthy interaction with men, and she's not going to trust men, and therefore she's going to presuppose that you're doing something to fuck her over, or you're eventually going to fuck her over because you're just like all other guys. When you hear a woman say all guys are the same, all men have pea brains, when you hear shit like that, the hairs on the back of your neck should be fucking standing up.
That's what I was just saying, basically. If they saying all that, it's kind of a red flag. It means they hadn't healed. Still time for them. They need some healing, and they need to, and they're going to be watching for any mistake that you make. And some of them, they also have a habit of not even letting you know when you do something they don't like. They just bag off. They'll just leave you alone. They'll just say, screw it, now I'm out of here. Even though they hadn't communicated the things that they don't even like. They hadn't communicated what they don't like and what they don't, certain things that go into their trauma. If they see something they've seen before, they're automatic out of there. They don't even give you a chance. And that just lets you know, the first sign of anything, they want to run. So that lets you know that there's a lack of healing. That's all that means. When someone just wants to run, it's a lack of healing. Because that means they don't trust it, and they're afraid. It's fear. I've been on both sides of that.
Because that is
danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Eject, eject, eject.
Gotta pay attention to these things. Just because she's hot and good in bed doesn't mean she's a good girlfriend. He says, to which I this is, so let's go back a little bit. She says she understood that I was busy, but that she wasn't happy seeing each other only once a week and not hearing from me in between. To which I replied that I was just busy and that I will start making an effort to reach out to her more. So when she brings that up, she's like, you know what? Well, let's get together.
Exactly. What did I say yesterday? They said, oh, you don't see me enough. You don't talk to me enough. Okay, what day you free to get together? When you want to link up? What you doing tomorrow? You solve the problem. When it comes to that, we don't argue. You don't argue with a woman. You don't argue with a woman. She's bringing up a problem. She's expressing a problem. You just solve it. We don't spend. I don't like we only hang out once a week. Okay, what you doing tomorrow? You cut it off right there. She ain't got nothing. She can't argue no more. She can't. You can't use that. You solve it right then, and they won't even be able to. I had people tell me I can't. I had some tell me I can't even be mad at you. As soon as they bring up a problem, you solve it. That's what they looking for. You solve it right then.
Make it up to you, and then you set a date on the spot. Because basically, what she's communicating, she'd
Yeah.
like to see you more.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the way she goes about it in a mean-spirited, manipulative way, which you'll see here in a second.
Well, she does. All women don't do that. Some women just do it in an emotional way. They'll respond, but you just have to understand because their language is different from our language. So we just have to understand their language. They might be expressing they want to see you more. You don't call me enough. You don't do this and that. You don't care about me. It means that hey, set a date. I want to see you. I miss you. But they don't really know how to be straightforward and communicate that. A man, we can say just all right. Say what we want. Look, man, I'm hungry. I want something to eat. Or I miss you. Where you at? What you doing? Women, they're not as direct as men are, because they're a little more emotional. So they're going to communicate that differently. That's why you say you respond to their emotion with logic. If they're communicating that they miss you, just solve that problem.
She texted me 2 days later, just talking about a video, and I tried setting up a date. She offered Sunday or Monday, and I told her to bring a bottle of wine and come to my place so we can cook dinner on Sunday. She refused and said it was my turn to go to her side of town. So the idea is if she's got a better idea or something more fun to do or exciting, awesome. I like women that actually suggest fun things to do. That's really cool. But she just refused and says, "No, it's your turn to come here." Does that sound?
That's also another red flag. If that's just showing she doesn't really know. A lot of women don't know how to talk to men, and they make it seem they already have this perception. If they think all men are the same, all men are crap, they already have this presumed perception of you that you're crap, that you're whatever, that you're just scum. Because there's a lot of them. I don't have any expectation. I don't have anything like. They already have this pre-noted thing in their mind that you're not any good. They're just waiting. They're just like they're sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for you to mess up. Just like when you got a police driving behind you and they're following you everywhere. They're waiting on you to mess up so they can pull you over. That's basically what that is. She's just waiting for you. Any kind of thing or sign that she don't like, she's either going to chew you out or take her pain out on you or try to get ghost on you. It's all driven by fear.
Sound like a flexible
from
woman?
lack of healing.
Does that sound like somebody it's easy to get along with?
No, she's not easy to get along with at all. Because she still has problems. She has problems.
And is just happy to spend time with you? Or
it doesn't sound like it. It just sounds like she's just trying to jerk your chain and manipulate you. That's what it sounds like, honestly.
Or does that sound like a chick that's already fucking pissed off at you and is...
It does. It sounds like that.
...trying to punish you, passive-aggressively.
It is okay to be so stressed and overwhelmed that you feel like you need to talk to someone about it. And by that, I mean going to therapy.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
I thought it was a test, so I replied in a funny way, saying that all she has to do is to bring your sexy self to my place so we
I wouldn't respond like that.
can cook dinner and have a nice time. Remember, you want somebody with a good attitude that's going to joke and laugh, and she'll come over anyways. What did she actually do? She negatively responded and said, "We might have to cancel overall."
I would have said, okay. I wouldn't have even said it. She would have never heard from me again.
Oh, you're not going to do what I want? Fuck you!
She would have never heard from me again. Because I'm in a place in my life, my peace is more important. If you're going to I'm not saying I'm not willing to fight when it comes to when things get hard. And let's say if me and her are already dating and we've been in a relationship for years, or we've been in a relationship for like a year, I'm gonna try to see what's going on so we can fix it, so we can work through it. I'm not gonna be the type of person that's gonna run away or whatever. But in the beginning, if you're hard to get along with, if you're talking crazy to me, or you're just all that other stuff, I'm not because if I feel like you're gonna disrupt my peace or disturb my peace, I'm not really gonna be. It'll be that easy for me to walk away. If you're gonna, because I do want peace. I do want someone that's kind of easy to get along with. I don't want somebody that I gotta fight and pull teeth and cut trees down just to get along with, just to have a decent conversation. I'm not interested in that. Sorry.
I'd say, do you think she had a good relationship with her dad? Do you think she loves her dad, knows how to talk to men, trusts men? Sounds like a chick that's kind of jaded and pissed off at men to me. And she's going to put you in her place. She negatively responded, we might have to cancel overall, to which I replied that if she can't make it, we'll have to do it some other time. To which she replied, let's just make it some other time.
It wouldn't have been no. I wouldn't even responded. I had to cancel. I wouldn't even say nothing after we'll have to cancel overall. I wouldn't have said nothing. I would just said okay.
Sounds pretty excited to get together, doesn't she? I don't think so. Fuck that shit. He says she used to text me at least once every 2 days, but 5 days have gone.
Because I promote healthy relationships, healthy stuff, setting healthy boundaries. If it's unhealthy, I'm not interested anymore. I can't do it toxic. I can't do that anymore. I've dealt with it all my life. I've dealt with it everywhere. I've dealt with it growing up. I've dealt with it in all kinds of different relationships, in adult relationships. I can't do it anymore.
On by, and I hadn't heard from her. Remember, the whole purpose is to bring out the best and the best right away and the worst and the worst. So we're a few weeks in, they're already sleeping together, and now she's just canceling dates to say, all right, fucker, you won't do what I want? Up yours, you don't get any pussy this week. Difficult, inflexible, passive-aggressive, fuck-off behavior. Remember, so when you tell a woman something, you got to stick to it. And so she just canceled a date just because she's pissed off. You roughed up her ego, and she punished you by not letting you see her. When the reality is you were going to give her the greatest gift you can give anybody, which is the gift of your time, which is spending time with her. And she's like, fuck off. You can't see me then. Right there, for me, if this was me and she pulled that crap, I would have never called her again.
I wouldn't have either.
I would have never made any effort.
Nope.
Because if you tell a woman to get in touch when her schedule frees up and she wants to see you, because it's an attitude adjustment. In other words, we're negotiating here. I want to get together and see you. And she's like, oh, fuck it. I'm canceling the date because you won't come to me.
I think my next stream is going to be dealing with police and stuff. Police encounters with people. It just popped up in my head. Whether they were right or wrong and all that kind of stuff. What the person did, what they could have did better in that situation. I think I'm going to look at those. And the next stream I do probably either be tomorrow, Thursday. Well, tomorrow is Thursday, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, probably be sometime tomorrow or whenever. It'll be earlier that day, I guess. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. But I know that's going to be the very next stream. Even if I don't stream anytime tomorrow at all, because I got meetings and stuff I got to go to, it'll be Friday for sure.
Why would I want to go to that? Maybe the date after that, I'll go to her side of town. But I want to see a woman that's flexible. Flexibility is also submissiveness. And she don't sound very flexible, and she certainly don't sound very submissive. So 5 days go by, and this is where he starts to go off the rails. He's not really following the book because he's not an abundance man.
That would have been, there's nothing else to do after that. After she responded like that, if she was showed her toxic side, there's nothing else to really talk about after that. There's no, there should have been the end of the email. But let's see what happens.
Mentality, because he's thirsty. He really likes this girl. And he just completely ignored what should have been a major red flag and potentially totally disqualifying behavior.
Yep.
Because if you tell her, hey, well, all right, well, just get in touch when you want to get together then. Or just get in touch when your schedule frees up. Because you want an attitude adjustment. You're like, she's too difficult. She's fussy. She canceled a date. It's like, I was going to take her out. I was going to make dinner. And she's basically blowing me off. It's like, I'd rather go spend my time with somebody else.
If a guy wants a second chance with a girl who got away, or a woman who's slipping away right now, there's one...
I don't care about none of that stuff.
And so he does the opposite. He's not congruent with his words. So he says, I called her trying to set up a date. She replied she was busy and would get back to me, but her voice seemed sad, so I called her back in the evening asking her if everything is all right. Never fucking call a woman and ask her, is everything okay? That communicates you're a fucking beta male and you don't understand women and you have no idea what's going on.
Well, I don't use Greek letters and all that kind of stuff. It's not that. Probably I wouldn't call a person a beta, because I don't use, like I said, I don't use those terms. I'm not Greek or anything. It's just, you know, if he really liked it, that's just how men respond that really like a person that really don't understand. They really like her and they don't really understand how it works. Because she's mistreating you. She has to be held accountable either through your words or through you not responding. You setting healthy boundaries. You know, because there has to be some kind of penalty for her giving you her unhealthy behavior. You can't just let a woman put you in an unhealthy environment. I'm not saying you stiff arm her. I'm not saying you talk crazy to her, anything like that. But you can set healthy boundaries while also still showing her respect. And even if that means you not responding again after she said we just cancel her overall and just walking away from that, okay, and just walking away, you didn't disrespect her, you didn't abuse her, you didn't talk crazy to her, you just, okay. Because I've had people, you just leave me alone, I don't want nothing to do with you, you make me sick, okay. And I never heard from me again. I didn't disrespect them, I didn't do any of that, I just walked away, and I still have peace in my life. I'm not, they could be just as crazy and all that kind of stuff. I let them do that. You're not going to transfer that energy over to me.
5 days go by. You hadn't heard from her. She'd canceled a date. You try to set another one.
That should be it.
And she's like, nope. Again, this is what she learned in her family. All right, motherfucker, you're going to get it. Imagine being married to a woman like this and having kids.
I can't. And I won't.
And you didn't take out the garbage when you were supposed to. You didn't get.
I can't and I won't. Been there, done that. Wore the T-shirt. I can't do it. I can't do that ever again.
The tires replaced on her car like she had asked a few weeks before. You ain't gonna be getting no pussy for months.
I can't do it.
No bueno. She replied she just had an MRI and some medical tests. That's all. Let's get together and talk about it. I want to hear about it. I called her the following day to see if everything was all right, to which she said yes. I then told her to get in touch when her schedule's open because I'd like to take her out. She said she would. You got to give women the opportunity to do what they say they're going to do. Again, because you're also wanting to see, is she choosing me? Is she making an effort to get together? Is she easy to get together with? Or is she a fucking pain in the ass? And so far, all I see is her being a pain in the ass.
If they make it hard for y'all to get together, because a lot of people are busy, I understand that, but if they're making it hard for you to even try to get close to them and try to get on that level, it ain't worth it. It's just not, because that's a little too much. If you put yourself out there, hey, I'm interested in getting to meet you, we can go out on a date, and I'll think about it, or I'll see, we'll see. They keep saying that, they're not interested. They don't even have an interest in taking you out. So it's just a waste of time pursuing a person like that. It's just giving you the runaround, just jerking you off. You asking every time you ask them on a date, they keep canceling. It's just clear signs that they don't really want to be bothered. So I don't. It's just things to look out for.
And punishing you because you roughed up her fucking ego. I called her 4 days later to ask her out, but she said she'll call me back.
I don't know why he's still contacting her. I don't know why he's doing that. If she's not even showing him respect, so I don't understand.
Remember, he just told her for the second time when her schedule's open to get in touch, and he wasn't congruent with that. So now he's displaying more beta male behavior.
It's not really beta male. He's just falling. Like I said, I don't believe in those labels. He doesn't understand how life works. When people aren't showing you respect, you don't continue to let them disrespect you. You don't continue to let them jerk you around. If they're wasting your time, you don't continue to let them waste your time. I mean, you just walk away. Once you find that happiness and peace within yourself, you don't just continue to let people do that to you. That's just all that is. I don't use that alpha beta stuff. I mean, I just either you know what I'm saying. It's just based off experience.
Call her 4 days later to ask her out, but she said she'll call me back. She called me back the next day, but her voice sounded angry. Ooh, she's angry. Ooh. I asked her out, and she said she was free on Thursday, but I said I had a big presentation on Friday, so it'd be better if we went on Friday or Saturday or Sunday so I could focus on her. She agreed to Sunday. Seems like everything's going good now, right?
No.
Sunday afternoon, she sent me this message. Hey, hope you're having a great weekend. I wanted to reach out to let you know what has been on my mind. I've been enjoying getting to know you, but I don't feel right about continuing to move forward. I'm going to follow my thoughts and cancel today's plans. I appreciate the effort and the time we have spent together. I wish you all the best. His problem was he never was congruent with his words. And he
Right with that, she probably just wasn't interested. Either she found somebody else, she started talking to somebody else. One, she just started talking to somebody else. Two, she just never was interested in him in the first place and just got tired of just entertaining it and just really she was just jerking him along until she just really couldn't do it anymore. It's not that he did anything wrong. I can't say he did anything wrong or whatever, but it's just that he should have left it at when she first canceled the date from her anger. He should have just left it at that, because she was showing clear signs that she really wasn't into him like that.
Started acting like
there are a lot of women that do waste guys' time and stuff like that. They'll jerk them around and do all this other stuff, only to tell them later on that they really weren't really interested like that. She wasn't really feeling him in the first place. You can tell. She just wasn't really. She probably started talking to or messing around with somebody else.
Fucking beta male and over pursuing, and then she's just basically blowing him off and making him feel like it was all his fault, when the reality is she had a fucking shit attitude. And he continues to make mistakes. He says, I called her asking her what's going on and what was on her mind, and
I don't know why he keeps calling.
she said she felt we were not moving forward. There's no friendship or romanticism. We only see each other during the evenings and go for dinner and then hang out at my place, and we do the same dates always. Well, obviously, and I talk about that in my book 3% Man, because you should do different things. You want to be mysterious and unpredictable. But notice how she's trying to blame everything on you, like it's all your fault and you did all the fucking up, and she's just the most perfect, awesome woman in the world. You just totally screwed it up with her.
And also, if she had a problem with that, she could have communicated that with him, but she didn't do it. She just observed. See, this thing that women do too, that's kind of irritating. It doesn't piss me off, but it's kind of irritating. Women, y'all gotta learn how to. If y'all don't like something that a man does, if y'all don't like it, find a way to communicate that to him. Don't sit there and hold it in, or try to hold a grudge, or try to do things like this, or y'all to wait and cut it off and don't tell him what he did wrong or anything like that. Oh, he should have known, or he should have did. I've heard a lot of women say, "Oh, he should have knew what he did wrong." No, and a lot of women want you to read their minds and all this kind of stuff. You should have knew this and this and that. Even if we ask, okay, baby, you need anything? I don't know why you asking. You should just know what I need and do it. No, if I knew, I wouldn't have to ask. Come on, I don't like when they play that game. I don't like when they do that kind of stuff. I can't stand that. Y'all expect us to read y'all mind and expect us to try to figure out what's going on. Even if something's going on, something's bothering you, maybe what's wrong? I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm good. knowing you're not good, knowing you're not okay. If we're asking you what's going on, and you expect us to already know, you like we are supposed to automatically know what's going on. I don't understand why y'all do that. It's kind of weird, but because if we're trying to figure out what the problem is, if we already knew, we wouldn't have to ask, okay? And if we do something y'all don't like, just tell us. Don't do all this other crazy stuff and lashing out or waiting days before you even communicate it to us that there's a problem, or you cut us off without even giving us a shot. That's not. I don't understand why y'all do that. I never understood why y'all do that.
And that's just shit behavior. That's narcissistic type of behavior.
Cause they don't even tell you.
You only see
They don't even tell you when you mess up. They just. And because every guy ain't out there to hurt you. Every guy ain't out there to try to just run over you. Every guy ain't out there to try to use you. Every guy is not against you. But you got a lot of women that assume that if we do something they don't like, they just cut us off. Don't tell us what happened. Don't tell us what the problem is, and we try to explain it to them or whatever. They don't even want to talk about it. They just, oh, you did this and I ain't like it. You didn't. You could have told me that. We could have worked through that. It's because they didn't really even want to work through it with you. Because people they really like, they'll actually work it out. But people they don't see any value in, they don't really care about too much, they won't even work it out. They'll just cut you off. They won't even tell you nothing. They ought to know. That means they really didn't see it going anywhere in the first place. Because people they really like, they really have feelings for, unless they've just been hurt so much, they have this screw off approach to everybody they meet. Then they're not really in a place to be dating anyway. But that's just one thing I did. That's one nitpick I had to have. But because I couldn't think of it at the beginning of my video. But that's one thing women do that kind of tick me off a little bit. Y'all expect us to know things. If we ask you, hey, you need anything, what's going on, or you expect us to already automatically know, and that pisses me off sometimes. And no, we don't know. If I knew, and you make us feel like crap for asking questions. We can't read minds. We can't read your mind. We don't know. We knew we wouldn't have to ask you. We would just be able to do it. Don't ask, just do it. I'm not understanding that logic. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. Either you tell me what's going on, either you tell me what you need, or if I ask you something, you tell me what it is, or that's gonna irritate me. I get irritated about that kind of stuff.
So remember, he's tried several occasions to make dates with her, and she's canceled twice and blown him off like he's dirt.
You canceled the date, and then it's the same old dates over and over. Why don't you suggest something else better? Why didn't you suggest something else that was different? If you're okay, can we change it up? That just shows that there's a lack of interest there. You don't even tell the guy why you cut him off until the end. Didn't even try to work it out. Didn't want to work it out. That just shows that there's no willingness to work it out whatsoever. Whatsoever. There was no interest in that to begin with. There was none. There was zero. If they really like you, they're going to try to give you hints. They're going to try to throw things in there to try to help you out. Hey, why don't we just go over here? If they feel like you're doing the same thing over and over and they don't like it, they're going to try to bring up suggestions or, I'm feeling this week. Why don't we go over here? If they're really feeling you, they're really into you like that, and they're not toxic and they're not crazy, they'll try to do that. Otherwise, they'll just cut you off and not even tell you why, because there's something wrong with them.
She's gaslighting his ass by saying that we only see each other during the evenings.
What do you want? What a job.
She didn't tell him. If she had an issue, she really had a problem with that, she would have told him that. She didn't even tell him.
And we go to dinner and hang at my place. Same dates always. She feels like I don't feel the need to get in touch. Now keep in mind, see how dishonest that is? She feels like I don't feel the need to get in touch, even though he's called her 3 or 4 times and she hasn't reached out to him at all. He's doing all the pursuing at this point, and yet she says you're not getting in touch enough.
That's not. I mean, she just wasn't. That's something that's seriously wrong with her. That's all that is. And he should quit wasting his time. He should have stopped wasting his time a long time ago. I wouldn't even kept calling her like that. That's just not. she clearly showed that she really wasn't into him, and she's just making up reason as to why. But in actuality, she really don't want him. She don't want him around, don't want nothing to do with him. That was just a fling that she had with him, and it's over, and she's ready to move on. That's all it is. It's just that cut and dry.
Totally gaslighting his ass. Fuck her, dude.
He already did.
I said that based on my previous relationships, and now he's going into logic and reason. I said that based on my previous relationships, I started giving more space in my relationships. That she was the first girl that actually wants the opposite. And then I would be willing to work on our relationship. Like, dude, you went on 5 dates. You don't have a relationship. You hooked up a couple times.
There is no relationship.
Part of the problem, you don't know the material, and you don't have any other women in your life that you're practicing
He don't understand life
on.
or women.
I said I appreciate her sharing her thoughts and making things more clear.
Where that came
We
from?
agreed to talk again during the week. What should I do or say? I really like this girl, and I admit I haven't been 100% myself and tried to sometimes act more busy than I am. Dude, you shouldn't do anything. She has to earn you as well, bro. And she ain't doing shit to earn your ass. She's doing everything she can to make it feel like the relationship didn't go anywhere because it's all your fault. When in reality, she's the asshole that canceled your date at the last minute for no reason. Twice. And then she has the gall to tell you you didn't contact her enough when you had contacted her 3 or 4 times over the course of a couple of weeks. And each time, oh, I'm busy. I just don't have time. Passive aggressive, narcissistic, gaslighting fucking behavior. So this is what her family's like. They manipulate each other. They punish each other when they don't get their way.
Could be.
And then on top of that, they're going to make you feel like it was all your fault. I mean, yeah,
I ran into a lot of people like that. And before my healing process started, before I started my healing journey, I ran into a lot of them like that. And that's when I had to realize it was me entertaining those type of people. And I ran into a few good ones too, but I wasn't able to receive them because I was full of hurt and brokenness and all that other stuff. So I had to kind of get to a place where I could kind of receive that stuff, to receive the good ones, because I not only rejected the bad, I rejected the good with it. But the more I started healing and stuff, I started to be attracted to the good, to be attracted to others that fed into the positive energy I already have in my life. So there's that.
Pointed out the things where you fucked up, but she's just a fucking turd blossom, my friend. It's just the way it is. I also tried to not always be available to create more attraction, and I have to admit I became a little complacent after the 3rd date because she had a high level of attraction. You don't
really know that, dude. You don't know how high her level of attraction is. You just assumed and you projected your own he's probably going to say it too, but you projected what you thought onto her, and sometimes we misinterpret women. We think, okay, she's really interested in me. She finds me very attractive. She might not even be interested in you. Because some women, they can entertain you, they can talk to you, they can go on dates with you, they can even sleep with you, they can even flirt with you, and not be interested in you no more than a man on the moon. So it's just, it's all. That's why even women are smart enough to go by a man's actions and not as just his words, and they go by their character. And it's not necessarily just actions. It's all about character, because character is actions over over a specific time period. If you see a pattern, if they have a pattern of being bad, they have poor character. If they have a pattern of being good over a long period of time, then that's in their character to be good. Just because they slipped up one time and they were good all these years and they did something, maybe did something off the rails one time, that doesn't mean they have poor character. They just, good people mess up. But they're consistently messing up. They're consistently doing this and that. That's their character. That just says a lot about their character.
Well, the reality is, dude, she weeded herself out. You brought out the worst and the worst. She's a low quality prospect. No bueno. She fucked up. What I would do from this point forward is nothing. If she reaches out, invite her to your place to make dinner together, hang out, have fun, hook up. If she won't come to your place, then just say, all right, well.
I wouldn't deal with her until she's found some healing or willing to work towards getting healing, or willing to try to do things better than how she did it.
You should go check out 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back, which is an article I did several years ago, and follow those principles, because that's the situation that you're in at this point. You want to see somebody that's flexible, and you're willing to give her another chance to earn another opportunity with you.
But that's what he did. I've had enough of toxic in my life. I can't go back to that kind of stuff. That's just me. Now that I'm in a place of healing and peace, I can't go back.
But she's got to demonstrate flexibility and a good attitude by being excited to come over and spend time with you. Not breaking your balls and making you feel like shit so she can stroke her ego and then just toss you aside because you roughed up her ego. So if she comes over the next 3 dates in a row and you hang out, you have fun, and you hook up, great. Then you can take her out and you can pick her up. But you got to let her do all the calling, texting, and pursuing from this point, at least for the next 3 dates. And at this point, with her attitude and the way things have gone,
if a guy wants a second chance with a girl who got away,
tired of these
or a
ads.
woman who's slipping away right now, there is one.
These ads are annoying. I'm going to get
I
premium.
would say it's just...
As soon as I can, I'm going to get premium.
You're done with this.
This stuff's annoying.
She had her chance, and she fucked it up.
Goodness, those ads are annoying.
It is what it is, man. It's like, part of the problem is that you projected your high level of attraction onto her and demonstrated some weakness, and you didn't have any other options. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to fuck up when you're learning, and that's okay. So don't beat yourself up over this girl. It's just simply ain't fucking worth it. She's a low quality prospect. And you should look at this and say, these things are actually working. Where you went wrong is you started ignoring the red flags, and then when she started demonstrating the bad behavior, you're like, whew, you just fucking tossed my book right out the fucking window and went into over pursuit mode, which...
And I don't live by his book. I live by my willingness to protect my peace. Once you learn to protect, once like I said, once you establish your peace, once you have a certain level of peace in your life, you learn to protect that peace. You learn to, anything that's coming against that peace, you learn to not have it in your life or entertain it. When that person's just giving you crazy energy that goes against your peace, this strong negative energy, you learn to start protecting that, and you don't want things. You're not gonna want. You're gonna desire a lot. You're not gonna desire those things to be in your life, because that once you find true peace, that's gonna be more important to you than anything else. I'm telling you. So, reading certain books is good and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just telling you from life experience, and you're gonna want to protect your peace, regardless.
Caused her attraction to drop even more, and on top of that, for all your troubles, she makes you feel like it was all your fault. When the reality is, you're the guy calling her trying to set dates, and she's the one jerking you around. She's the one canceling dates for no other reason than she's pissed off at you, and she's gonna teach you a lesson.
And probably didn't even tell you why she was pissed off. And she didn't tell him why she was pissed off until the end, until she called it off. She broke it off. She didn't even tell him. She didn't even give him a chance. She didn't even give him a shot. She just looked at things she didn't like. I just noticed things I didn't like about you, so I just cut you off. Instead of addressing the problems, instead of addressing the issues, you assume that he should already know and already just have it in his mind what's wrong or what's going on. And sometimes some of these type of women, they won't even tell you what's going on. They'll expect you to just figure it out, and that's annoying. That's why I don't like dealing. I don't have the patience to deal with that kind of stuff. I have too much going on in my life to be trying to read your mind, trying to figure it out, and you're not telling me. You're going days without telling me, days without talking to me. You talk about everything else on your mind and in your life, but you don't tell me what's going on with you. And I get annoyed with that pretty quick.
You don't date women like this. These are the kind of women you fuck a few times and then you blow off and you keep on.
I wouldn't even do that. I don't even screw with them like that, because I don't want that energy on me, period.
On moving, because they're just not worth your time. Now, it's totally possible that her attitude changes when you haven't talked in a few weeks and she reaches out. But again, she's got to come to you for the next 3 dates in a row. And if she's willing to do that, and you hang out and you have fun and you hook up all 3 dates in a row at your place, making dinner together, if she starts complaining that you don't do anything else, just say, hey, quite frankly, I'm giving you another shot here. We made 2 dates and you canceled them for no other reason than you were pissed off at me and you're trying to punish me. And that's manipulative, that's gaslighting me, that's passive aggressive behavior, and I don't appreciate that. And that shit don't work for me. I like you, we have good sexual chemistry, we have fun together, but I'm just not down with that. You gotta be nice to me. I like nice girls. I want a girl that I can take home to mom, not a girl that I gotta hide from mom. I don't want to bring home a girl that my mom's gonna go, that chick's a fucking asshole. What do you do with her? Fucking kick her to the curb. I want to take a girl home and my mom go, oh, I love her. When are you gonna put a ring on that finger? That's what I want to see. That's the kind of girl you want. And she's displayed zero things, zero qualities that communicate that she's a good catch. Definitely something to think about. But dude, you're making progress. You hooked up with a hot girl. You learn a few lessons, the hard way obviously. Just keep moving forward. But again, you've got to have flexibility. You got to have a woman with a good attitude. All the things I talked about in the beginning of the video. So, I mean, the reality is if you take a step back and look at it from a 50,000 foot level, it's like you just kind of saved yourself a whole hell of a lot.
He did.
Trouble.
He dodged the bullet, honestly.
And you found out right away that she's just, even though she might be hot, she ain't a good quality prospect. And you should be moving on and don't beat yourself up because quite frankly, she ain't fucking worth it. So if you got a situation that you're...
Let's see, what else? I might be done after this. Oh, 32, yeah. I think I might be done. That one was a long one. That was a pretty long one. That was a pretty long one. I might be done after that one. Let's see. Let's see. What is this? Yeah, cause I be trying to do different things to try to keep myself. I got a lot of things to share. Let's see. What time is it? I done got hungry too. I done got hungry. 7:30. It's still early. Let's see. Which one should I watch? Which one should I watch? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. I'd rather watch this one. Let's see.
I use Rocket Lawyer to make sure my business is on a solid foundation, because I'm a contractor, not a lawyer. Rocket Lawyer has all the legal documents I need to get the job.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan.
And I'm going to see if I agree with these signs or not based off by either my experience or I might learn something new. Who knows? We'll see.
And today we're going to be going over 6 foolproof, easy ways to tell that a woman is toxic. And I think every single guy on the planet should watch this video, especially after the Amber Heard Johnny Depp debacle that we all saw online.
Oh Lord, don't bring her up, please, Lord.
I think it will benefit.
She's the most hated woman on earth. Literally, you can go look it up. Literally, she's the most hated. She's terrible. Oh, my God.
Fit all of you to make sure that.
If you want me to talk about her? Just let me know. We'll bring her up. I forgot about her. Good God.
You watch this video and stick around until the very end. So again, these are 6 foolproof ways to tell that a woman is.
She did all kind of. She had a man. She had men. She was sleeping with men and women, and had men. She had him kicked out of his own house, and brought another man in there. It's just she is terrible. She's one of the worst ever. She's the worst. She is the worst. type of woman you could ever meet. If you know anybody like her, run, please. They prey on and take advantage of weak men. Run.
It's toxic. Let's get right into it. Number one, she's always the victim. If she's always pointing fingers, blaming you, never taking accountability, it's
kind of like what red pillers do, but except this is women doing it. So if everything is your fault, yeah, I can agree with that.
Fault but hers. This is not a good sign, and a sign that she's unable to take accountability for her actions, which is obviously not beneficial if you're looking for a healthy, mature relationship.
It's unhealthy, very unhealthy.
This is the type of girl that's always going to make you feel guilty, who's going to make you feel like you need to be apologizing for things that you didn't even do, simply because of the fact that she can't take accountability for her actions. Plain and simple, it's exhausting to be with someone like this.
Very exhausting. I've dealt with that. It's draining. It drains. It sucks the life out of you. That kind of stuff I can't do anymore. Go ahead.
A toxic situation to be in where someone is always blaming other people and playing the victim. Now, there's a really big difference between playing the victim and actually being the, person who is in the right in a situation. I'm not saying that she can never be the victim in a situation, but I do think that constantly playing the victim or wanting to be the victim and wanting people to feel bad for you and throw a pity party for you is not a good way to live your life and is exhausting to be with someone like that.
It is
Number two, and one of the easiest ways to see things from the very beginning is that they play.
Because I'm an empath and I can't carry that kind of energy. I have to have high frequency people. Otherwise, people when you're an empath, you got to be really careful who you have in your circle, who you have in your life. Because people like that, they drain me. They drain my life force. I can't even function. They suck the life out of me, and it's hard to even be around, much less have a relationship. It's torture.
Games. This is something that you honestly might be able to pick
Pure
up
torture.
on from the very start and save yourself some time. I say this all the time on my channel. If you have been on my channel for a while, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times. If she's playing games with you, this is a sign that she is insecure and immature, and we don't have time for that here. And also, this is going to be a window into what the rest of your relationship is going to look like with her, which probably is not a healthy, happy one.
Wherever you tolerate, it's going to increase. Everything that's bad is probably going to get worse unless it's addressed.
I will also say this, and I think it's important for me to mention this at some point in the video, is that a lot of times toxic people and toxic behaviors stem from, insecurity, immaturity, but also trauma and also things that we need to deal with and heal within ourselves that
unaddressed trauma they hadn't healed from or thought to even look at. They just use that as a weapon against other guys that they date.
a lot of people just don't step up and do. Does it mean that this person is going to be toxic forever? No, absolutely not. Does it mean this person is going to be undateable for their entire lives? No,
Nope.
Absolutely not. But I will say, it is not your responsibility to stick around and find out if they change or to try to be the one to change them. I would not recommend any of you do that. In this case of talking about a toxic girl, it is her responsibility to take ownership for her toxic behaviors and heal herself and work things out so that long term she can potentially be in a healthy, happy relationship. And while we're on the
Pretty
topic
much.
of stepping up and taking charge of your mental health here, I'm really excited that today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Real talk here, how is your mental health? In all honesty, I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed and I've been struggling a little bit, running 2 YouTube channels, trying to make time for myself. It's not easy. So if you're struggling with your mental health, you're definitely not alone. My therapist, Janie, helped me identify that in order to be my best self for not only myself, but also for all of you and the people around me, I have to make sure that I'm, putting time in with myself and spending time on things besides just work. In all honesty, it's really difficult to manage
Self-care.
your mental health if you have no idea where to even start. And this is exactly why I work with BetterHelp. They offer customized online
Start with your
therapy
trauma.
that includes video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. BetterHelp is more affordable than traditional offline therapy.
I prefer in
You can
person.
apply for financial aid during the sign-up process, and they accept HSA benefits.
I prefer
There's a
in
broad
person.
range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access that may not be available in your area. You just fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Then you schedule secure video and phone sessions, plus you can exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. You can also request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. So many people use BetterHelp that they are
And if that's affordable, that might be a good resource for anybody that's seeking to improve their mental health, because there are a lot of resources out there than just therapy. If you can't afford therapy, there are a lot of resources out there. So that might be useful if it's affordable, especially if it has, I know what HSA is. because people that work, you can have money. You can that it helps pay HSA accounts, health savings accounts. It helps with co-pays and things like that. I used to work for the bank and manage those type of accounts. So yeah, but yeah, if that's affordable for anybody, that's something to look into.
They're currently recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. Join the 2 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with BetterHelp. You can also use my link to get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/CourtneyRyan. That's betterhelp.com/CourtneyRyan. Moving right along here, number 3 is that achievement becomes competition. Being competitive and competition in general is a very normal thing in a lot of aspects of our lives. Maybe you're playing a video game or a board game, or you're doing something fun with your partner that gets a little bit competitive. What is not healthy is when your achievements become competition. And I found a quote from an article that I want to share with all of you that says, "Healthy relationships are based on a mutual desire to see the other succeed in all areas of life," Carabello says. But when things turn toxic, every achievement becomes a competition. So maybe this looks like she doesn't encourage you, she doesn't support you, she gets upset when you get a promotion at work or when something good happens in your life because she's only able to be happy for you if the same thing is happening to her. Maybe you just got an A on your exam, but she got a C, so she's upset and mad at you for the fact that you got an A. There are so many situations and scenarios.
I've never encountered that, but if that is that might be a sign to look out for. I've never encountered anybody like that. I've always just encountered people that either suck the life out of you, or the first one that blames you for everything, or blames you for their problems, things like that. I haven't encountered this one.
Scenarios where this can present itself. That's just a little example I wanted to share with you in case maybe you've been in something like that. But again, this can present itself in many areas of our life, whether it be with friendships or work or a promotion or getting a new job. I mean, it could be, again, an array of things, but when achievement becomes competition, she's not supportive, she's not encouraging, she's not happy for you, and she only cares about herself, this is a real issue. And that leads me into my next point here, number 4, which is excessive envy or jealousy.
Or if she's if you mention things that you've accomplished, I have encountered something similar. If you mention things, if she only wants to talk about herself, and whenever you drink, talk about something that you've done successful, and she just brushes over it, okay, and then she only wants to talk about the thing that she's done or she accomplished. She only talks about herself and herself only, her life, and then when you mention your stuff, she just brushes over it or try to shoot it down or things like that. That could be similar. That's also a toxic trait, and that's just from my own experience. I haven't had I had something close enough to that.
If envy is keeping your partner from being happy for your success, this is a big issue, and it's quite frankly toxic. When we're talking about jealousy here, jealousy is a natural human emotion, but when it leads to constantly mistrusting your partner, snooping through their phone, or crossing boundaries, this isn't a good thing. And being jealous and envious isn't cute, and I know it might seem okay.
People going through phones, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. A lot of people, they talk about it, people talk about that and say we go through each other's phones and see. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really know how I feel about that. I do know that there does have to be a level of trust in relationships, and I know sometimes that when you're in a relationship, you're going to use the other person's phone. Like I say, if you somewhere you lost your phone, you might want to use their phone. So depending on what kind of relationship y'all have, there has to be a level of trust, though. Either way. So there you go. So, but if she sneaks and goes to your phone, just always has to go to your phone, trying to look for stuff, looking for things, looking for who you inbox, or looking for just going to looking for stuff, looking for trouble. There's something wrong with that. That's not healthy.
In the beginning, or people say, it's healthy to have a little bit of envy or jealousy in your relationships, but again, when it gets to this excessive point, or a point where you're crossing boundaries and you can't.
There's a difference between territorial and jealous. If they're territorial, that means they don't. Some women, women are going to be territorial towards somebody that they're a guy that they really like, that they're interested in. Jealousy means if you even look at another woman, if you even blink your eyes at another woman, or you all kinds of crazy names, or are they cussing that woman out, and they all in their face ready to fight them, or it's just all kind of, they coming at you and call you just all kind of mad disrespect, and they're just blowing everything out of proportion. There's a sign of pain and hurt and toxicity. They haven't healed, and that could be if you choose that type of woman, you got a long, hard road ahead of you.
Can't trust each other. Now, if you've given someone a reason not to trust you, that's a totally different story. That's not what I'm talking about here. But say, for instance, you bring up a story, you're telling her something, and there's a girl that you mention in it. And the second that you mention the girl, she absolutely freaks out, even though you've done nothing wrong. That's Exhibit A. And again here, if something positive is happening in your life, you would think that your partner would be encouraging and supportive. But if envy is keeping them from being supportive or encouraging you,
another unwanted ad.
Number 5.
Do you know the #1 female turn-on of all time?
I don't care what it is.
It's not confidence.
I don't
it's
care.
Not charm, game.
I don't care what it is. I don't care.
She's controlled.
YouTube Premium. That's the #1 turn on. YouTube Premium.
And again, my last 2 points that I made have led me to this point, and they're all kind of entwined within each other because often if, she's controlling, she also might be envious or jealous. Does she make you sit on the couch when you get home from work so that she can come and take your shoes off for you, but one day you decide to take your own shoes off and she has a frantic meltdown? If you watch the Johnny Depp trial, you probably know exactly what I'm referring to here, but regardless of if you watch that or not, generally speaking here, controlling behavior is toxic. Being controlling of your partner is...
It is. It really is.
It's not healthy, point blank, period. Does she...
On either side, it's not healthy at all. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you're just you feel like you got to be in control over them, have authority, or just be in total control over them, tell them what to do, where to go, how to eat, and all that other stuff. That's just unhealthy, man. It's just not. It's not a relationship I want anything to do with.
Control who you hang out with,
Now there should be a level of mutual respect and trust between each other. If I'm married, I should know not to come home late because out of the respect I have for my wife. I should know not to have other females in my DM out of the respect I have for a wife. It should be mutual trust and respect. It's out of respect. It's not her going through my phone and going off on people, or if I post something and a woman comments on it, and she just coming up on there cussing them out and talking crazy to them, and it's not healthy. It's just not really. It's not good. I don't like that. Turns me off because it's not really healthy. Because what if it's a family member you don't even know? It could be a family member. It could be someone. Cause I've had that happen before. A family member come in on something, and the girl was talking crazy to him, and that was a family member. I'm just like, no, that's weird. That's kind of not. I'm not feeling this.
You talk to, what you do on a daily basis, how you take your shoes off, if you take your shoes off. I know that's a crazy example, but this is just proof that it happens. Of course, setting boundaries within your relationship is really important, but setting boundaries and being controlling are two very different things. And my last point here is money. Does she try to get you to buy a Birkin even though you just met her? If so, she's...
Perfect example. Yeah, I've ran across those. That's why, and then they get mad when you don't respond too. They want you. They don't respond to you right away, but when they ask you for something, they want you to respond right away and be pronto, be in a timely manner about it. They only hit you up when it concerns buying things. It's not only just burgundy. It's not only just buying expensive stuff. They could be using you for a ride. They could be only hitting you up when they want case in our community. They could be hitting you up when they want some weed. They could be weed heads or just want some cigarettes or whatever. They could be using you to feed their habits. They don't even want to. They're not really interested in dealing with you or talking to you. They just want your resources, and that's very bad. It's a red flag. It's a sign to just not really deal with that kind of person. You don't want to deal with nobody like that. You deserve more than that.
Probably toxic. Does she only talk to you when you're buying her something or taking her out? Remember here, what you allow is what will continue. I really want to...
Exactly. Exactly.
Highlight here that it's toxic to spend tons of money to impress a woman, but it's also toxic when a woman is only using you for your money. If she makes you pay her in order to send her a text message, again...
Yeah, all that stuff. All of that. If they have to... If you try to hit her up and she sends you a Cash App request, just leave her on red, please.
And if she's asking for a Birkin on the first date, if she's
leave her, just check please, and never talk to her again.
Asking you to fly her out and take her
check please and never talk to her again.
Shopping, and that's the only way she'll talk to you.
If you have to do all that to talk to her, screw her. She's not worth it. She's not worth your time or your energy or your peace. She just wants to drain you dry and move on to the next. She probably has 3 or 4 other guys she's doing this to. Because I've seen women that have a boyfriend for each bill that they have to pay. I've literally seen that kind of stuff. They have a boyfriend to cut their yard. They have another boyfriend to pay their light bill and water bills. They have another boyfriend that pays their rent. They have another boyfriend to just give them money when they need it. They have another boyfriend. I've seen girls that have 3, 4 boyfriends. I've seen women that were married that had 2 other boyfriends. They're paying their bills and everything. I see it. It's out there. It exists. And I'm doing this one to show you that I'm not just some quote unquote what they call beta, and I'm not what you would call what they would say. Oh, you're a simp because you're defending women. No, I just see things cut down the middle. I don't take the bitter, angry men side. I don't take the toxic women. I am aware that there are women out there that don't have any good intentions for men. I know that. I'm just showing you that I do know that. I'm not you know what I'm saying? I know that there are women that won't do you right, but I'm telling you too, you don't have to focus on those women. You can still live a good life, a peaceful life, and you can ignore those type of women. Your job as a man is to identify these signs, these red flags, and go on about your business. Or if you choose to deal with it, that's on you. I'm not going to condone it, but if that's on you, I just want people to think for themselves. I'm just letting you know, hey, I'm not just attacking men. I know that there are crazy, toxic, and narcissistic women out there. I just have enough sense to avoid them and not let them affect my peace or affect my life. I'm not going to complain about them. I just know they're there and not go deal with it. Just like if you see a poisonous snake in the bush, I just know not to go over there to that bush where the snake is. Okay, there's a snake over there. I won't even go over there to mess with it. You don't have to mess with it. You don't have to entertain that stuff. All that's on you.
Probably a sign that this girl doesn't have your best interests in mind and only wants to see what's in your wallet.
Lyra B.
And if you're in a relationship or married, the same kind of money rule applies here, but it might just look a little bit different. Have you agreed on a budget and she goes behind your back to buy things anyway? Does she cross the boundaries that you've agreed on when it comes to finances? These are conversations that you need to be having, and in order to have a healthy, happy relationship, you have to make sure that you guys are both, respecting each other's boundaries and not consistently crossing them, or that leads to toxic behavior like this. Alright guys, so to wrap it up here, again, I think a lot of times toxic behaviors stem from insecurity, immaturity, trauma, not taking charge of our mental health. So I think it's really important to make sure that you're looking for these things when you're looking for a potential partner, when you're dating, even when you're in a relationship and married. These are 6 foolproof warning signs that you need to look out for. And again, I'm not saying that just because she does things, she is the scum of the earth, worst person on the planet, she's never going to be dateable, but it just might require her to, again, step up, take charge of herself, and stop doing these toxic behaviors. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever experienced any of these things. If there's anything I missed, please be sure to let me know and help some of the other guys out down in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, I'm aware of crazy, toxic women. I'm aware that the justice system isn't always in our favor when it comes to men versus women, and I'm aware of child custody and stuff like that the system usually goes against us when it comes to that. I'm aware of that kind of stuff. I'm aware you have women that will have babies by men and put them on child support. I'm aware of that. I know all that's out there. You know what I'm saying? I know you have women that will only call a man when he needs them. I know that. I've gone through all of that. I've seen it. I know how to avoid it, and I still have peace in my life. I'm aware of all that stuff that's out there. But I'm not angry about it because I know that you don't have to, that doesn't have to be a part of your life. You can choose or choose not to entertain or deal with that stuff. So there's a lot of things I'm just aware of. I'm aware of it. I'm not crazy. I'm not just going to be, oh, every woman is good and you should, I'm not crazy to and ignorant to, I know the dating world has changed. You know what I'm saying? I know the dating world has changed drastically. I know there's a big difference in dating back then in the 90s versus dating now. I know that, I know a lot of things. I know there are a lot of messed up women out there. I know that. I see them. I've dealt with them. I understand them. I run across them. But, they don't make me angry or anything like that. I know, but I do know they're out there. I just did that stream just to show you that I do know and I am aware. Okay, I'm not just naive to thinking that everything is blissful and gumdrops and candy and stuff. I am aware of toxicity. I am aware of users. I am aware of manipulators and people that don't have your best interest at heart. They only care about you when you're giving them stuff. I'm aware of that. I've seen it. I've seen it, and it's happened to me. I've seen it, and I've been hurt by it. I've dealt with that kind of stuff. So, but I didn't let it destroy me. I didn't let it turn me into a bitter, angry, quote unquote red pill or manosphere. What I did do, I use that stuff as experience. That's why I have people ask, like they said, how do I get so much knowledge? Just through experience. I've dated those type of people. I know it, but I won't allow my experiences to. I'm not going to use that hurt and anger to bleed out into the black community or to men in general. I'm not going to spew out lies and deceit and hatred just to line my pockets or to. I refuse to let other men believe that the end of the world is coming. All men, all women suck. I'm not gonna keep doing that. I ain't gonna believe that, and I ain't gonna let other people believe it if I can help it. I'll post truthful content, and you listen to it or you don't, or I just want people to think for themselves. I just want people to be able to think. If you can think for yourself, then you'll go a long way in life. But if you spew out, because you noticed the content I posted yesterday, every video I posted, they were all saying the same thing. Oh, you don't date single moms because of this. You don't date single moms because what one person goes through, the other person might not deal with. It might be better for another man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you just have to think for yourself. You just have to know things. Just like somebody says, sweet potato pie is nasty, man. You should never try that stuff. But it might be good to me. What you might not like, I might love it. I might enjoy it. You might not have worked out with a single mother, but I might find one. We married, happy ever after. We grow, we build an empire together. We have more kids together. You don't know. Every experience is different, so you can't write everything off. You're limiting yourself when it comes to that. You're going to limit yourself in life. You're going to be you just listen to only negative output, negative stuff. You limit yourself. Even when I buy a product on the internet, I don't just look at all the bad reviews and stuff. I don't. Well, they got bad reviews, so I ain't gonna get the product. Like the computer I'm using now, I seen a lot of bad reviews, but I looked at why the bad reviews were there. Oh, it has a cheap keyboard. Well, I didn't. I wouldn't have a good computer if I didn't. If I just went with the bad reviews. It has a cheap keyboard. I can fix that. I can just buy a better keyboard for it. It's a good computer. It's an awesome computer. It just has a cheap keyboard. I could buy another keyboard when I get ready. So you have to point being, you have to look at the things that you need in life, where you're going in life. That might be the woman that you need to get you where you're going. And just her being a single mother might not be a big deal for you. But if you go off this other logic saying that, she's terrible just because she's a single mother, you might miss out on a blessing. You don't want to miss out on something because you're going with someone else's logic. That woman might be the best thing that ever happened to you. If her being a single mother is not a big deal, I think you should give it a shot. I'm just saying. I just want people to think for themselves. You assess what you need and what you're going after, and you make a decision based off that. You don't have to listen to all the internet dribble. So I could watch these videos, but I don't just listen to everything. It's like with Corey Wayne, the person I just played before this one. You saw there were some things I did disagree with. I don't agree with everything he said. I'm not going to say, well, yeah, he's great. I'm just going to, oh, yeah, everything, rock and roll. Yeah, no, I'm not. I have my own mind. Because he says some certain things. I said, no, be careful with that. You might want to be careful with this. You might want to look out for that. I'm not saying to do or not to do. Just think about that because you might run into this problem over here. But just think about that. Be careful with certain things. I don't agree with that's not my philosophy because I ran into certain things. What's good? All of his advice may not be good for everybody. It might not be good for you. just have to think for yourself. That's the whole key. I don't want people to be robots and walking around gung-ho for whatever content creator they have. Just like people are gung-ho about Thomas Sotomayor, Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, or the people that's talking, these different people, they're gung-ho. I'm not gung-ho. If I disagree with something, I just disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, I listen to it because I might learn something. I might find something I disagree with. I might have some questions about certain things. You just, I just take away the positives, and whatever I don't agree with, I just leave that. I don't have to take that. You know what I'm saying? But the whole key is I know how to think for myself. I can think. I don't have to, I don't follow anybody blindly. I just don't do it. Cause you're gonna miss some stuff. Cause you follow blindly, that's when you run into problems. So, or you're gonna miss out on a lot of wisdom when you don't question certain things. You're gonna miss out on a lot of wisdom. When you want to know something, you're confused about something, there's something you don't agree with, you ask, you inquire about it. So that's how you learn, that's how you grow. You know, that's just me. But like I said, I'm about to get up off of here because I about to find me something to eat and take my butt. I don't know if I'm gonna watch TV or do whatever, but you know, I'm gonna take my butt off of here so I can do something else. But I'll catch y'all later. That's the end of my stream for now. Anyway, I'll be back. Probably, and this weekend I haven't forgot about the anime stream. I haven't forgot about the Goku versus Frieza. I still want to watch the rest of that. I wanted to watch it's a movie I wanted to watch. It was Dexter Laboratory. I might watch that movie with you guys. I think it was Ego Trip. I like watching certain stuff like that, little cartoons and stuff. I wanted to watch some Scooby-Doo movies if I can find them, if I have access to them. If I can't get them, I ain't gonna bother it. I ain't gonna sweat it. Cause those movies are old anyway. I mean, why would I pay for that? I mean, just saying. I'm just saying. But like I said, hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all learn something. I gotta go. About to go. Peace out.